live.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? It is old Brim and Mr. Greer hanging out here with another edition of Truly Inconsequential.
Hello,
So, what do you
hello.
call it? Basically, can you hear me? Because I know that we're getting a little bit of static. If I do this, can you still hear me?
No, I could still hear you. I can still hear you
You
fine. I
still
mean,
hear me or no?
no, I could still hear you. Yeah, no, I can still hear you. Everybody
Okay.
in
I
chat.
can't hear.
You can't hear me?
Okay. Can hear you. I can hear you. It's just I'm hearing an echo in my ears. That's all. I didn't know if they're catching that echo.
I don't think so, but guys, I'm sorry. We're doing another remote show today. Brim is down in Florida. So if you guys hear any audio things, you just let us know, and we'll do our best to fix it. I'll do my best to fix it. But yeah, trying to swerve us with these show hours. Yeah, we had morning show this week. Jose seemed like the better idea with Brim's schedule, being that he's down in Florida this week. So we decided to do a morning debate, I guess.
Yes. So why don't we get it started here? What do you call it? So for those of you just joining us, truly inconsequential. Not all characters created equal. This is where Greer and I sit and argue over the most ridiculous and nonsensical fictional cast members ever to grace pop culture. Today we have a very interesting lineup. Pretty much why one pet owner thought chipmunk slave labor was okay and the other was abusive to his cat. We are debating David Seville from Alvin and the Chipmunks and Jon Arbuckle from Garfield. So this should be an interesting one because, to be honest, both of them were pretty bad pet owners. They were really bad. Wouldn't you agree, Tom?
Well, no, I mean, I think one was probably bad or just useless. Like, were they bad or
Well, I
just
think
completely and totally useless?
I do think that they were. Well, look, I mean, Jon Arbuckle, I think, was extremely useless, and David Seville. I mean, although it was always played off that he was, a good guy, trying to be a good dad, quote unquote. The fact is that it's slave labor. You know what I mean? He had these little, baby chipmunks, and he's like, all right, I'm just gonna take these animals and throw them out to the world and let them see them play music. Hello, Sandra. Good morning.
Morning, Sanjay. Guys, and also, guys, let us know if mornings are better. I don't know. We've the audience has been fluctuating like week to week. So if morning hours are better than afternoon, than like 2 p.m. hours, let us know. If you're watching now live, hop in the comments, or if you're watching on the replay, hit us up. Let us know. Yeah, but I mean, is it really slave labor? Because the chipmunks are chipmunks, they're animals, and I mean, I would like to think that if I owned chipmunks that could sing, I would be showing them to the entire world and profiting off of that. It's not like they're actual children. They're chipmunks.
This is true.
They're pets. They're technically John's pets. So are we starting with his name's David? Was that his name?
Yeah, David Seville. David Seville is the Chipmunks. It's their quote unquote dad, but it's their owner. I don't even remember how the hell he got a hold of the Chipmunks.
You got to get closer to the mic.
How was he given responsibility of having 3 chipmunks? That's what I'd like to know.
I don't know. You should get a little closer to the mic, but
Okay.
I don't know. Did they mention that in the show? I mean, I liked Alvin and the Chipmunks a little bit, but did they even mention it in the show how he came across all 3 of these chipmunks? Did they do it in one of the movies?
I don't remember. Because it came on so early in my childhood. I mean, it goes back a long way, and I don't remember, to be completely blunt. Sandra says she's child free in the morning, so mornings are better for her. Jose says morning is not bad at all. So yeah, I mean, that's a positive. Hopefully, maybe we'll start doing them earlier if that's the case. What do you call it? So yeah, no, David Seville. Listen, I don't know how he got his hands on them, but if you recall, he's not the only one that happened to have 3 singing chipmunks. They had the Chipettes too, which weren't his responsibility. They were somebody else's. So, where are all these singing chipmunks, and how come I can't get my hands on any? That's what I'd like to know.
Now, also, but wasn't Dave like their pseudo like manager almost? Like he was okay. So I guess that kind of does make him consequential because without Dave, they have no opportunity of getting on stage in front of people. You know what I mean? Like, again, It's not a conversation of if you pluck Dave out and replaced him with somebody. It's a conversation of if you just pluck Dave out, what happens? If you pluck Dave out, they're just singing Chipmunks, and there's no stage for them to be on. They're not this famous singing. There's not these famous singing Chipmunks. They're Chipmunks that are probably singing to themselves in the woods somewhere. You know what I mean?
Okay, fair enough. What do you call it? Hold on one second. Sandra says, so is David Seville kind of like those white tiger magicians?
Yeah, he's Siegfried and Roy.
Yeah, manager / dad. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you plucked him, but somebody at some point somebody else was managing them. What do you call it? And he was just kind of, or maybe it was their agent. I don't know the difference. I can't.
I just
don't
like
remember, what they had going on in the stories, but
but I feel like Dave Seville is a constant character within Alvin and the Chipmunks. Like he's a memorable, I guess not a memorable character, because I mean you really just remember Alvin, Simon, and Theodore, but like he was more of a like authoritative, like protective parent like figure for the Chipmunks, that if you and obviously like we mentioned manager, that if you took him out, they're really nothing. Like they wouldn't have those opportunities that they did have within the show.
All right. Let's go to the comments. You got them?
Yeah. So, we said that. Manager / dad, Sandra, that's right. The shenanigans involve Dave more than Jon. We're gonna get to Jon.
Did
Jon.
you get Chris?
I'm reading that right now. Jon lets Garfield do anything, and Dave is better. He takes care of them and is like a father figure. Agreed. That's what we were just saying. Without Dave, they end up as stew for some mountain man. That's what I'm saying. Like Dave is the guy that takes care of the Chipmunks, puts them in the situations, makes them helps make them these big stars that, if they didn't have him, they'd just be regular Chipmunks that just could sing. They'll be in the woods somewhere or stuck in a pet store. You know what I mean? Like without
what pet stores sell chipmunks? They don't.
I don't know. I just
be out in the wild. They'd be in the park. They'd be
sold
all over
on
you while you're camping
They'd
outside.
be sold on Craigslist. The most repeated phrase from him was him screaming Alvin. Yeah, Alvin is him screaming Alvin is a very memorable thing. Hillbilly pet store. Yeah, hillbilly pet stores. They sell them.
It is. See, that's the thing, is that he was always screaming at Alvin, like always, forever. Now, isn't that like a little harsh? I mean, given Alvin was a little bit bad, but I mean, well, I guess I yell at my dog all the time, so I guess
yeah,
I guess it's normal, but it's not their dog. It's not his dog. It was his kids, quote unquote, his children.
Well, they were pets. I mean, like they were pets. They were chipmunks.
So they're considered. Now here, I guess here's the good question for everybody: are the Chipmunks considered pets, or are they considered his kids? What would you guys?
Well, I mean, like people consider their dogs fur babies. So like nowadays, animals are people's kids now. So it's kind of both. They're small creatures that he needs to take care of, feed, and house. Like, what's the difference? The only difference is it's not a human who's going to grow up to be a fully grown adult. They're chipmunks who probably aren't going to get much bigger than they are in the show. You know what I mean?
Right.
So there really is no difference.
Jose says, but can your dog sing? Yes, he can. Not as well as Alvin and the Chipmunks, but he can sing.
I don't think they have I don't think Jasper's great, but I don't think he has a hit Christmas album.
No, he doesn't. But then again, those chipmunks aren't really chipmunks that are singing. Those are people singing and pretending to be chipmunks.
Yes. Let's just pull back the curtain, break the fourth wall. Let's for sake of argument, let's just do that. Yeah, they're not really chipmunks. They're people. No, really. I thought chipmunks actually could sing.
For children, yes.
Yeah.
For children. All right. So we'll go with the fact that Dave is, the dad, the manager.
Plus, I think I feel like he was actually involved more in the Alvin and the Chipmunks story. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like
to a certain extent.
Yeah. For the OG fur babies, they were the OG fur babies.
It was always when they were getting themselves into mischief and trouble is where David wound up then walking in and screaming and wondering what the hell's going on and trying to be Mr. Fix-It. So I can't get over the fact that he really, wasn't a big part of the cartoons other than coming in, yelling at them, scolding them, and then trying to fix it when something went wrong, or again, I don't remember everything, but that's what stands out clearly in my mind. They are three small children with werewolf syndrome or something. They are just fuzzy kids. There you go.
Yeah.
And then the Chipettes are fuzzy kids also. They just so happen to be.
I guess so.
another
I guess
three
so.
chipmunks that are.
Well, I mean, like
same.
they gotta have. I mean, I guess you had to have significant others for the Chipmunks at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can't be the only.
Again,
They can't be the only Chipmunks. Speaking Chipmunks.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So let's flip over to Jon Arbuckle. So David Seville is apparently he does mean something to the storyline. If we plucked him out, just like you had mentioned, maybe they'd be in the woods somewhere, running around and singing to themselves, or to you when you're out there camping with your friend, your family and camp. What do you call it? Let's see. Jose says he wasn't really that important. Later on, they gave him more value, but meh. All right, but now what about Jon Arbuckle?
Jon Arbuckle is the worst. Like nobody, like I didn't even know his last name was Arbuckle. Like I barely knew his name was John. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't think he's really all that important of an owner. You know what I mean?
Thanks for the share, Lisa.
Yeah, huge thanks for the
Sandra
share.
says John is more the oblivious owner. Okay, he's just there. I mean, he really is just there. And the fact that he allows his cat to eat the ridiculous amount of lasagna that he eats, and I mean, he's just as an a-hole for a cat. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and I think
I don't know.
John just seems like a real pushover. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I feel like David actually had a purpose within Alvin and the Chipmunks. You know what I mean? Like he was the caretaker, like the manager, the guy that helped put Alvin and the Chipmunks into the limelight, into the spotlight. Jon Arbuckle was just the character that just like showed up every once in a while, and I don't know. I didn't even know, honestly, I didn't even know John's name, to be quite honest with you. When you said Jon Arbuckle for this episode, I was like, who is that? I've never heard of that before. If he was just a character that was like Charlie Brown, the adults in Charlie Brown, where you never saw him and he just went wah 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 wah. He made like it would have been one and the same. You know what I mean? I don't really see John as being all that important.
And I completely agree with you on that. In terms of the fact that he's involved in a lot of the cartoon strips, the comic strips, but he's just. I mean, the story's about Garfield. I think Odie is more important than John is, but Garfield would not be the way he is if John was not his owner. So maybe if you pluck John out,
what makes you say that
change.
though?
Well, because John always had the food around. John always made sure that John had Odie. If it wasn't for John, who brought home Garfield and Odie, then they wouldn't be together, right? And that's gets clear for most of the episodes on cartoons and most of the clips in the comic strips is that the two of them got into the hijinks together. Sandra says, I think the Chipmunks involved David more because it was more about family, whereas John, he was just in the background because it centered more around the pets. I agree.
Yeah, I think he could have been in like a character that was just off screen, that like he could have made an appearance in the beginning, just dropping them off like in the house, and then if we never saw John again, I don't think it necessarily would have affected the show Garfield, because you really just cared about Garfield's antics and Odie. Whereas if we're sitting and watching Alvin and the Chipmunks, you're watching Alvin and the Chipmunks because you're watching to see what hijinks they're going to get into and how much they're going to make much they're going to make Dave's life hell. You know what I mean, or much of a headache. So I don't know. I feel like John is just John. I feel like is probably one of the blandest, most boring characters that have ever been a part of television. Like he is just so bleh that it is like if you looked up bleh in the dictionary, John's face is going to be there.
You want to grab those 3 comments?
Dave is more guardian / dad. John is more expendable. I agree with you on that one. Lisa, I gotta go. You guys rock. Thank you for being here, Christopher. Nope, you're the man.
Thank you, Chris.
Appreciate it. Jose says, imagine John and Dave in the pet shop at the same day at the same time trying to choose their pets. Dave gets chipmunks, Jon gets a lazy cat. So imagine if they had both made a different choice in that moment. They would both be inconsequential. All they did was make a choice to bring these animals home. I agree with you. No,
Yes.
I agree. I absolutely agree with you, Jose. I think in the grand scheme of things, we're talking about it's much like what we did last week. Who did we do last week? I know last week was two.
Daphne, Daphne, and God, I can't believe I just blanked out. Oh, and Lola Bunny.
Okay, yeah. So it's kind of similar to what we said last week. Like these two characters, Dave and Jon, are both very inconsequential in their own right. It's just that we're trying to decide which one's more inconsequential than the other. So I totally agree with you. Like, if you plucked both of these guys out of their respective shows, I don't necessarily think it changes it all that much. You know what I mean? You get the Chipmunks doing all their Chipmunk stuff, and Dave could be an off-screen character. Same as Jon. Jon could be an off-screen character. But between these two, I personally think that Jon is the most useless out of all of them because I think he's probably, for as popular as Garfield is, cartoon and comic strip wise, is probably the most boring character in all of cartoons. You know what I mean?
Wouldn't necessarily go that far, but I wouldn't. I mean, you're not far off.
Can you name one? Who's more boring than Jon? Who's more boring, bland, and who's more boring and bland than Jon Arbuckle?
Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything.
Because there is nobody.
Yeah, it's. But here it is in the films. See, the thing that sucks is that you have to, we have to kind of go in between the comic strip, the animation, and the films. You know what I mean? In the films, he's a lot more involved. He's a lot more of the prime character, more so even than Garfield to a certain extent. So, I mean, do we take that into account?
Well, yeah, but I think that Dave is more consequential in the cartoon and the movies because the couple there were a few of the Alvin and the Chipmunks movies than Jon is, because if Jon holds a little bit of a role in the movies, that's great, but again, he's a nothingness flat character. Like Sandra says, he's a flat character, is very flat. He's a flat character in the cartoons and even in the comic strips. So I would think that Dave has one leg up on him, being more important or more noteworthy in the other mediums like the cartoon and the movie, where Jon just really has the movie.
Sandra says Dave hits both movie and cartoon. Okay, I mean, fair enough. Again, I just with Jon, it's just he's such a. Well, it's the same thing. Same thing as David. They're both old school, characters that have been around since the early days. One of the not the Garfield wasn't necessarily one of the first comic strips, but he was one of the first big, popular comic strips. And so I think that a lot of people know Jon, but if you look at the end and all of it, Arbuckle is not afloat in the parade. What do you call it? Where Garfield is.
People know Garfield. People.
What do you call it when they do the Chipmunks at the parade? They do have a David Seville.
Yeah. Lisa says. Sandra says Dave hits both movies and cartoon. Lisa says, I think if Dave wasn't there, it would change everything. I think of the Chipmunks like teenagers / middle schoolers. They need guidance and honestly parental supervision. I could agree with that, Lisa. Jon only hits the movie, and he's very absent in the cartoons and the comics. Yeah, so he's just like a character that pops in for 2 seconds and is immediately out. You know what I mean? In the cartoons and the comics. And I kind of agree with what Lisa's saying. Dave is more of a parent-like figure to the Chipmunks. He's involved in their lives a little bit more than Jon is, who Jon buys a cat, pops in every once in a while. Garfield basically takes a dump on him, and he's out. Right. You know what I mean? Like, Jon is just like a sad, like he comes off to me as like a sad, defeated human being. You know what I mean? Like, he just like if you could put into a picture just a guy that's like consistently like battling inner demons and depression with like meds or something, it's probably Jon Arbuckle. Like, he's just a sad human or cartoon character.
Yeah. Jon only hits the movie, and he's very absent in cartoons and comics.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what do you call it? At the end of the day, look, I'm not disagreeing. I think that we're all on the same page on this one. Yes, he never even marries Liz. This is true. what do you call it?
Probably because he's too much of a baby. Like he's too much of a he's just too timid and too much of a little. I don't want to say what I'm gonna say, but he's just such a bland, boring boring cartoon character. Like Jon sucks. Like Jon genuinely sucks.
He sucks. He sucks. He really, really sucks. Lisa says Jon is basically there to be abused.
Yeah, he's the whipping boy. He's a masochist.
So let me ask you a question.
He probably likes
I
dominatrixes.
know he's not on the chopping block here, but I mean, would we consider Odie consequential or inconsequential?
I think Odie's more consequential than Jon is.
I believe so too, but
because nobody
Odie's
cares
there
about
as
Jon.
a punching bag as well.
Nobody cares about Jon. Everybody like you at least can get some kind of. I can see Tom being a Jon type person secretly at home. Yeah, absolutely. Get the hell out of here. Tom seems very taken by Jon. Get the hell out of here, Jose. No, you see, like I don't know. First off, not boring one bit. You go ask my girlfriend. I'm not boring at all. No, I don't. No, I don't know. Look, like I said, I'm just dead set on. We're 23 minutes. We're getting closer to the end. I don't know how.
What's the P word? Sandra says, "Say the P word." What's the P word?
Yeah, what's the P word?
Sandra says, "No, Odie is Garfield's Robin." Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Tom screaming at the mirror to himself, "You are the worst." Jose just gets you every time.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, Herb? You want to get Herbs?
Odie rules. Jon just makes lasagna. He's a bum. Yeah, Jon is literally the most bland character in all of cartoons. I can't think of somebody worse than him.
I don't know what the P word is, by the way. But,
yeah, I really want to know what that. Oh, Jon's a pussy, plain and simple. Yeah, okay. That's what I that's what I kind of figured the P word was, but I was just I didn't want to put words in your mouth, Sandra. That's the thing.
So what do you call it? By the way, Herb, hopefully you're feeling a little bit better.
Yes.
You were under the weather.
Yes,
so
sir.
Hopefully you're doing well. Anybody who's paying attention, check out the Earplug Podcast Network.
Yes.
Greer is on there often. And we also are on there via the Grindhouse Radio, and Dirty Little Secrets Club. So Make sure you guys check it out. When you get the chance and support Herb. He's a great guy. He does some great stuff. So anyway, that being said, all right. So let's get down to the nitty gritty, people. You know what I mean? Like, I guess who's more consequential?
Well, hold on. Put in the chat. I want you to put in the chat because the show is truly inconsequential. Put in the chat who you think is the most inconsequential character between Jon and Dave. So whoever you put in this chat is who we're deeming inconsequential. This is the person that we're yoinking out of whatever cartoon they're in and just flicking them into non-existence. You know what I mean? So
non-existence.
Yeah, like he's
going into the abyss.
Yeah, into the abyss
of the extra ink blot, the ink eraser. Okay, so Dave is getting tossed.
Dave, wow, I'm actually surprised, Jose. You made it sound like you were gonna say Jon. Herb says Jon. Sandra says Jon Arbuckle could disappear. Yeah, Jon's a bomb. Nobody needs him.
2-1 right now.
Jon totally inconsequential. That's 3-1. Not looking good for you, Jose. I'm saying Jon, so Jon's immediately gonna go up to 4 for me. I don't,
Yeah,
Jon's,
and I've got to go with Jon's inconsequential also.
5.
I think Jose might have missed the assignment right there. I think he meant to say Jon. I think he was trying to say who was consequential. But I could be wrong. You can defend yourself, Jose.
Yeah.
Defend yourself. Let us know.
Yeah, you got like
thinking.
4 minutes to defend yourself.
1, 2, 3. No, man, because I want to show you some support, kid. Who, me? No, I'm going with Jon.
Yeah, we're in a unified group here. That Jon is absolutely the most useless character in all of cartoons. You see, I told you. I told you in earlier shows. Jose just comes because he wants to be on your team, no matter what. He's like, I just want to be on Brim's team every single time.
He's been on your side plenty. That's first of all. Second of all, I think that at the end of the year,
you just end up a poster with your face on it.
Hey, Tom and Brim agree. Yes, we did agree.
Surprisingly enough,
every so often that happens. What we should do, Tom, is at the end of the year, we take the top 2 most inconsequential characters that we've done and pit them against each other.
That's probably not a bad idea. So you think Dave has any value? Dave has more value than freaking Jon Arbuckle. I mean, like, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean the argument here, Jose, is that what do you call it? The oh, it's raining outside. What do you call it?
Welcome to
The
Florida.
argument here is that Dave actually had a lot of input in taking care of the chipmunks as though they were his kids. He got them in front of the cameras to make them famous. He managed them. He took care of them. He cared for them. As to where John was kind of very, he was in the background. He never really did anything. He showed up here and there. He got crapped on, and then that was it. You know.
Jose, that's actually an interesting thing. You're lucky I can't call into this. You're nuts. I might try and figure out everybody that's watching. We might be able to. I'm kicking around the idea of figuring out how to make a call-in thing work. I think I
Okay.
know how to make that work. It might just have to be through like a Discord call. So if that's something
Mhm.
you guys watching are into, and we can figure out a way to make that work between me and Brim, maybe we can add that going forward, or add that in the not so distant future, like viewer inputs or something like that beyond just hopping in the chat. But I mean, look, dude,
Yeah, no,
I don't understand how anybody could think John is consequential in any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? Like, I don't
I
know.
was thinking, that the two of them, that both characters are so damn, in my opinion, were so
I'm
inconsequential. I
unfireable,
didn't even
Jose.
think, I don't even think that there was going to be this much of an argument. To be honest with you, but I don't want to give Brim a reason. I can't fire him, Jose. He's my partner.
Yeah, I'm unfireable.
uh,
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here forever and ever
we will
and
all
ever
bring
and
the
ever
some.
and ever. Oh
We
yeah,
will all
ever.
bring the smoke. Smoke. That would be cool. Um, yeah. So we'll do the, what do you call it? We'll do if we can do the call-ins. I mean, I gotta believe that we could do the call-ins like we do for GHR, Tom.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't know how it works with our streaming interface, but Tom is
Gotcha.
fireproof. I am fireproof. I'm freaking Teflon, dude. I literally I am flame retardant. Nothing like I can't go I'm going nowhere. Everybody has a price. I'm priceless, dude. Literally priceless.
Honestly, I want to see a new series with Tom and Jose arguing every week. I would
Priceless.
tune in every week for
Literally.
that.
Basically gold. Freaking platinum over here.
And you just have each other go. Both of you go with each other. Go for your
Yeah.
throats.
And
Oh my
it
lord!
wouldn't not matter what I said. Like I'd say like fire is hot, and Jose would just go, no, fire's cold. It's ice cold.
It's cold. It's
Yeah.
cold. Wow. Oh my lord. Anyway, guys, what do you call it? So I think we've got the answer here. I think that what do you call it? Jon Arbuckle is truly inconsequential. He loses to the old school David Seville. I mean, I can't. I think they're both completely inconsequential, but I guess we have to choose between the two.
Yeah.
So I guess and then the plan for the end of the year, guys, is we're going to take the most inconsequential characters of the year and we're going to pit them against each other, or maybe we could do something on social media and get people involved and do a bracket, so this way we do it up to the top and they'll pick out of the most inconsequential characters we have. We'll pit them all against each other, and then whoever they choose we'll do as the final one for the year.
If Brim figures out how to turn the stream on by himself, you become inconsequential. Well, Jose, I think you need to go back to grammar school. What's that the in the middle of the sentence there for? Sandra says, the people have spoken, Jose. The people have spoken, Jose. And the people have said, get the hell out of here. Actually, don't go anywhere. You need to stay here. You're lucky my fingers. You're lucky my fingers have asthma. Can't type fast enough. Your fingers have asthma. We'll get them some inhalers. Jeez.
Oh my lord. Okay. We need to get you and Jose on a show together. I think
Yeah.
that's the key.
You know, no, I don't know if I want to do a show with Jose. I don't know if I want to do a show with Jose. I don't know if Jose's earned the right to be on a live stream with me just yet.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know. I think we need to figure that out. But guys, we are coming towards the end of the stream. Jose, everybody, including Jose, thank you so much for being here. You're all awesome. Literally every single one of you, including Jose. Every single one of you is absolutely awesome. You keep the show going. You make You make everything awesome. You literally make everything awesome. That includes you too, Jose. You make the show fun. You make it like, not just me and Brim sitting here and just BSing for a little while, which is fun, but, it's cool when we get other people to just come in and give their 2 cents.
What do you call it? Where was this? Sandra says Jose needs Band-Aids. He's got blisters on his fingers. Jose said that's too much ego for his 25-bit signal. Lisa said this has been awesome. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you,
and
Lisa.
then Jose laughed at the jokes. So what do you call it? Again, you guys, you've been fantastic. If you're in the Florida area, anybody who's by Melbourne, Florida, I'm doing an free appearance tomorrow, free signing at the Rain Tree of Melbourne, Rain Tree Mercantile it's called, and what do you call it? If you come in, you purchase one of my Torchstone Thai sauces, I'm signing it for free. We'll take pictures, the whole 9 yards, so hopefully I'll see some of you out there. And as Mr. Greer always says,
rate, review, subscribe, please like, follow, share the streams. All the interaction that goes through on these streams pushes us through the algorithm and more people can come join these debates. If you're watching on the replay on YouTube, please like, subscribe, comment. All that stuff helps more people see us, push us through the YouTube algorithm, and more people can come either watch the replays or even maybe come in and join the lives. Like the more interaction that these shows get, the more people that can come in and the more fun that we're all going to wind up having. So finally, this has been awesome. Thank you, Lisa. Thanks, guys. Fantastic show. Again, Jose, we joke around all the time. You're the man. I really appreciate you being as involved as you are. It goes for literally every single person that's been in these chats. You guys are unbelievable and absolutely amazing, and I can't thank you all enough for being a part of all this. Thank you.
Agreed. Thanks so much, guys. We will see you next week. Make sure you catch Thursday night, the Grindhouse Radio, and we'll see you next time.
Later.